Last year, I got the crazy notion to try and change my life. I started working through the 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson and had this notion to try and tackle one rule per month for a year. I did not do that. I got through chapter 1 and was so excited to get into chapter 2. It just took me a lot longer to work through than I thought. How do you take care of something where you can't even stand to look at it in the mirror? Rule 2. Treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. I knew chapter 2 is going to be really hard for me. Self-loathing is something I've struggled with for a lot of my life, which is really sad. I challenged myself for 30 days to really discover what it meant to take care of myself. This is chapter 2. How to take care of yourself. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 7, day 11, 12, 19, 6 of 27. Is everything I learned from my 30-day self-care challenge. Start small. Choosing to show up for yourself is self-care. Your health is your responsibility, and there's actually a lot you can do to feel better. Being kind to yourself is not failing, it's healing. There are days when it's good to challenge yourself, and days when it's good to rest. Self-care is in the daily routines we have in our lives. Make them good. It doesn't have to take a lot of time or money. It takes a lot of mental energy to hate yourself, and you can use that energy for other things. Show yourself as much kindness as you show others. Sleeping well actually helps. Working out actually works. Eating well actually makes you feel good. You get to choose how you live your life every day. You are capable of creating the life you want. My life has completely changed over the last year in challenging myself to really take care of myself. I really enjoyed doing this experiment. I think it gave me some really good insight into the routines that I had in my life that were not working for me, as well as what it meant to give myself grace days. There were days where I felt like I could challenge myself to work harder towards my goals. And then there were days where it was like, hey Shaylin, you're just a little lobster. It's okay to just take a break. And I think the balance between those things were really beautiful because I really tried to go into this experiment not to punish myself for not achieving things, but to really show myself grace. But that has sparked the most amazing journey for me, where I have been able to grow over the last year to really tackle the things that I have not been treating myself well, and I have not been taking care of myself well. And that has really changed my outlook on just how I show up for myself every day, not from a place of, I deserve this, I'm the best person in the whole world, but because I am a person, I should be able to enjoy life, and I should be able to get the most out of this life, and I should be able to grow and steadily tackle my challenges and my goals and tackle my past traumas in order to come out of this a better person, a person that I can see in the future waiting for me on the other side. Your person is waiting for you too. This chapter talks about something really interesting to me, and it is the balance between chaos and order. Chaos is the place you end up when things fall apart. When your dreams die, your career collapses, or your marriage ends. It is the underworld of fairy tale and myth, where the dragon and the golden gods eternally coexist. Chaos is where we are when we don't know where we are, and what we are doing when we don't know what we are doing. Order is the place where behavior of the world matches our expectations and our desires. The place where all things turn out the way we want them to. But the thing about order is sometimes it becomes too one-sided. You get stuck in a rhythm or routine you've realized 40 years down the line is not something you wanted to live. It's also boring. I am definitely chaos. I think I embody that. I am classically catastrophic, and I get bored very quickly and tend to turn my life upside down on a whim. I find myself craving a reality in which to base myself in so that I can be creative and be crazy without destroying the life that I'm trying to build. And that requires order. And order comes from consistency, reliability, trust. These are not things that I have within myself. And a beautiful thing that chapter 2 talks about is the fact that you have to build trust with yourself. So if you say that you're going to do something, you have to go and do it. Because if you don't do it, then you are not a trustworthy person. And so when you do face harder things, you're not going to feel like you're capable. This is massive. I think if you've ever decided, like, I'm going to go on a diet for 30 days, and then you give up, and you just keep doing that over and over and over again, the next time you go, I'm going to go on a diet in 30 days, already in your mind, you're saying, no, I'm not. Like, no, I'm not. And Atomic Habits talks about this, where it's instead of saying that you're going to do something, you say that you are something, rather than to make the goal, I want to lose weight. You make the goal, I am a healthy person. That way, when you are faced with a decision to make, whether you go to gym today or, crash out or whatever it is, you're going to be making that decision from a place of identity. I am a healthy person, and healthy people go to gym. I'm going to go to gym. I do think identity takes time to form though, and so please be gracious with yourself. Order is not enough. You can't just be stable and secure and unchanging, because there are still vital and important new things to be learned. Nonetheless, chaos can be too much. You can't long tolerate being swamped and overwhelmed beyond your capacity to cope, while you are learning what you still need to know. Thus, you need to place one foot in what you have mastered and understood, and then the other foot in what you're currently exploring and mastering. Really, when we talk about the balance between order and chaos, we're talking about finding a place near the middle where you have one foot in order and the things you want to be ordered in your life are ordered. Your house is clean, you have a routine down, you know how to take care of yourself well, you know what your body is capable of doing, you know what your mind is capable of doing, and then a place of chaos where you want to challenge those things in a place where you're grounded, but you have a room to grow. And that's really the ideal balance. I don't think many of us get there very often, but that's the place we want to be in. And so creating that order is so beautifully linked to how we take care of ourselves. If you just think about the trend of self-care or choosing self, it's things like going to the gym regularly, or food prepping, or eating whole foods, waking up at the same time every day, or going for a morning walk or a morning run, connecting with your friends. All of these things are so core to who we are as people, and they are the things that make us feel cared for. And so when you have those things in order, then you can really challenge yourself to do really cool things like start a YouTube channel, or start a business venture, or go travel the world, or whatever it is, because you're already grounded in the things that are going to make you feel good enough to do those things. This book is a beautiful breakdown of the psychology, but isn't really practical. And so I want to give you a little bit of practical advice. I like to think of myself as a sim. Sims have 6 points of needs: bladder, hunger, energy, fun, social, and hygiene. I think if you are at the beginning of trying to take care of yourself and trying to change your life, these 6 things could really help you. If your energy is low, you know that you can fix that by having regular, good quality hours of sleep, waking up at the same time every day, starting your day with an energizing activity like journaling, sitting in the sun, reading, going for a walk, rather than doom scrolling on your phone. These are the things that give us life and energy and make that bar go up. Another good one is social. What I love about social activities is that you're forced to show up at your best because you're trying to win people over, and that really is just human nature. We want to show up as the strongest, best versions of ourselves. And so go and do social activities where you're forced to where you're forced to pluck your unibrow and shave your legs, wear your good clothes that make you feel your best, and do your hair nicely, because these are the things that make you feel like you aren't a monster in the mirror. My challenge to you is, if you do feel so ugly that you can't look at yourself, take one thing that you do like and start there. Guaranteed that if you think hard enough, you can think of one thing that you like about yourself. Whenever I have a bad day and I start calling myself names or saying horrible things about myself, Kendall always tells me, now you have to say 5 nice things, or 5 things you like about yourself. That can be really hard some days, but even if it's small things like, I like my eyelashes, start there. Okay, I like my eyelashes. What can I do to take care of my eyelashes to make them even more beautiful? I could put on lash serum. I could go get my lashes done. Yep, that's all I got actually for eyelashes. It's a really good place to start, because when you start looking at yourself as something that you can curate into beauty, you start to find the beauty within yourself. Don't let yourself get obsessed. This is not from a place of, I need to look better. This is from a place of, I am already inherently worthy, and so I have to take care of myself. What I really like at the beginning of this chapter is that it highlights how our lives are not our own. Our lives are deeply connected to the people around us, and we live life with people around us. And so our life is not our own. And so even if you really hate yourself enough that you don't want to do any of this for you, find someone who you love, who loves you, who you could start doing this for. The first time I ever felt pretty was 6 months deep into my first ever relationship, madly in love with a boy who thought that I was pretty. And I started looking in the mirror and thinking, what does he see? What does he see? And started allowing myself to try and see myself through his eyes. Now, little lobster, let me tell you a secret. You are already the most beautiful thing in the world. You are created in the image of God. And if God is love, then that is the image that you were made in. Your body might not be perfect. It might not work the way you want it to. You might have good days, you might have bad days. You might have already suffered some really horrible things that make you question your entire existence. But you are beautiful, a masterpiece, created by God in His image to do great things in this world. I think, like everything, hard things, like tackling self-care and self-love, all starts with the first step. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.